What's up guys, welcome back, next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, back at Group C. Well, first time actually, but you know, back in the whole upper part, I guess, the more quote-unquote balanced decks. We have Chaos from 2004. It feels most of, as I've, you know, read through the comments from the community tab, is that it kind of feels like public favorite Chaos. Might, you know, one of the reasons why is that Chaos did kind of well last year. Anyway, so the Chaos decklist, I think, is pretty much the same as it was last year. It did well, so let's see how it goes right this year with different matchups, different decks. It's going to take on a deck that already has been featured in the Cross-Banlist Cup series some time ago. Can't remember when, but it's Synchro, but it's something different compared to as we are used to in the TCG back then. You know, 2008-ish, 2009-ish. Thing here is that, you know, the eye catchers here of the deck is first of all pre-errata Brionek and pre-errata Rescue Cat, right? Plus, let's not forget that this is an OCG decklist, and the OCG back then had access to Premature Burial, and Premature Burial was searchable by, what was it, Hidden Armory? You know, I believe in the OCG the card was called Arms Hole, I'm not so sure about the full name, but hence why it was called Arms Hole Cat back, you know, in those days in the OCG. Anyway, so like this first duel, like perfect example why a format where Premature Burial and Hidden Armory, I believe the name is, yeah, is legal in the same format is not a good idea. The thing is that, like here, of course, Brionek, it was pre-errata, and as you know, when Premature Burial was bounced back to the hand off of, let's say, or by Brionek, the monster stayed face up on the field, and that was problematic. As you see, you know, you can just, again, pre-errata Brionek, use Brio multiple times during the same turn. It's not with the errata now, I believe the errata states once per turn, I think, and up to 2 cards, right, to be bounced back. Anyway, so Chaos, okay, you know, best out of 5, so we'll see. Mirage of Nightmare, you know, getting the cycle go through. This hard roll was quite of an iffy one, but still, I think the -1 was justified simply because the potential chance of a Raiko being set, 1, and a potential Spy if those were side-decked in, and Mirage. Again, you know, I can just empty my hand to give me more draws because of Mirage, right? And Gorse, like during those days, like 2009, 10-ish, 11-ish, during, you know, Tango Plant's format, early Synchro format, Gorse was like one of the best cards back in the game, simply because, you know, like itself being a big beatstick, and normally you would just wait on your opponent attacking with the strongest monster, plus you'll be getting a token equal to the attack of, you know, the monster that you got the damage from. And most of the time, again, that will be, or would be, or would have been the strongest monster on your opponent's side of the field. The Spirit Reaper here in this case, very solid. I don't think the deck can, you know, get rid of Reaper that easily without something like Brionek. But Snatch Steal is still so uber broken, and again, Snatch Steal gets me back in the duel. I'm still left at a somewhat comfortable amount of life points. I think we can go for it. You know, I think we can still go for it, you know, for Snatch Steal and put Reaper in attack position. Graceful Charity is a sick top deck. I'm not so sure about my sets. I think one of my sets is Scapegoat. Yeah, I think so. And Waboku. Waboku is nice. I could have, well, again, it would not have made sense to leave Reaper in attack position, but again, the Waboku was side-decked in as well. Prevent my opponent from, first of all, dealing damage with Air Balloon, you know, potentially discarding a card, and especially because that deck is focused on OTKs, I think Waboku is definitely a solid choice. Especially also because of Cold Wave. Like here in this situation, this kinda escalated really quickly, that pre-errata Goyo Guardian as well, but that Call of the Haunted top deck is pretty disgusting. So again, we see now that the Gravekeeper's Guard is being top decked. Again, it was side-decked if I'm not mistaken, both Spies as well. The Goats says no, they say no to damage, and here, you know, use Call of the Haunted, you know, Demok, pre-errata Demok as well, getting back Rageki. So I'm not, at least, what does Demok says now? I think you have to wait until the end phase, right? So I can, you know, use Geki and go for game eventually. This hand is kind of decent-ish, but Mirage makes it kind of broken. So again, just, you know, use Typhoon, get rid of, I don't know, potential, maybe a Typhoon on their part, and I can potentially, hopefully, get 4 draws in the process because of Mirage of Nightmare. I think I have another Typhoon set, so that's perfect. I was forced to use Waboku. You know, I don't want any potential discards here because of, you know, all the power cards in my hand. And I'm not going to make the same mistake that I did, was it in the previous season of the Cross-Banlist Cup, using Magical Scientist, but, you know, not give me a light in the graveyard, you know. What is it? Guitar? Magician King, that's the name. It's a light, right? Just Suicide Crash to potentially give me a light in the graveyard. And here this Imperial Order was definitely needed. Prevents again those multiple loops off of Brionek, right? Although I do have, what is it, Typhoon, and I'm not so sure about the other set. I'm going to leave Order on the field. Again, get Yatats, or you know, your opponent getting Yatats, so no draw phase, but again, Gorz is getting dropped. Here in this situation, it was fine though, simply because again, BLS being that stronger monster, 1. Opponent being under Yata, 2, and 3 Imperial Order still face up on the field. But Catester says hi, so that's a problem. And I'm dropping to, what is it, 600 life points? So I can't pay for Order, but Snatch Steal to the rescue. So we go for Snatch Steal attack over Catester, and I'm fully back in the duel. I think the token is... because of Yata, right? So it has an equal defense stat compared to Yata. And this is disgusting. That Monster Reborn was super disgusting. So my BLS on my opponent's side of the field, and this kind of puts me on the clock. Because again, if my opponent wants to play it safe, they can just banish every time a monster that I'm setting. Again, preventing potential Fiber Jar, Cyber Jar, Magician of Fate. Potential Sinister Serpent if I do set it. The Painful Choice, fantastic top deck, so now I just pick 5 cards that, you know, tell my opponent pick your poison, like Darkle, Geki, and, you know, other power cards. The Darkle was picked, and again I'm getting sacked. Burial for Catester, and again it's not looking too good. I'm super low on life points, but ooh, the Breaker top deck, for Burial. So again, as you know, when Premature Burial is destroyed, the monster is also destroyed. So then that Breaker was a delicious top deck. And again, even though I'm super low on life points, that Waboku is still set for, you know, potential protection. Here I think I have to go all in, because again I'm low on life points, and while I feared worst case scenario, it was either a Raikou or Gravekeeper Spy. And here this is potential lethal, but I'm not going to lose like this. Use Waboku, so I'm still in the duel, and Breaker is going to survive the battle. Set Sangan, and you know, there are still cards in the deck, so I have to hope for the best. Sangan to search, Reaper to potentially stall it out. But again, I have power spells, power cards left, but Delinquent Duo is not going to cut it. Plus, both DD Warrior Lady and again Reaper is going to, you know, make it so that I can survive, right? Or hopefully survive until I draw like a power card. Again, Reaper set Crush card was a nice top deck, potentially, you know, if my opponent is able to whatever drop a boss, I could potentially turn the tides with, you know, a potential pre-errata Crush card. Duster could be a nice top deck, but not in this situation. So again, it's going back and forth, a super long duel, super long video as well as you see, but it's for the good one. And this D-Mog is just disgusting. So use Duster that I drew earlier, I believe hit both bottomless pre-errata, D-Mog, get that Monster Reborn, and now the tides are turned completely. The Gorz is already gone, and I do have Ring. Okay, Ring is not going to cut it, because I'm going to, this is pre-errata Ring by the way, I'm going to lose, but my opponent is probably going to survive. So I need to get in some extra damage. Worst case scenario, this could be a draw off of Ring of Destruction, and there is the damage I needed, but this was more than enough, right? Maybe going ham a bit, taking some, you know, like a potential Raikou on my opponent's side. Well, no, all the Raikous were gone. Okay, I don't think there were any risks then. So this was cool, a really nice duel going back and forth. Like the Senshi was maybe a strange play. I probably just should have gone for 1000 Ice Restrict, you know, take control or attach my opponent's monster to it and then pass on Ring. But then again, this is again kinda sick. I believe Aerebellum only discards a card from your opponent when it does damage by a direct attack. Enter Reborn. But Stardust, as you know, like I've mentioned multiple times, like Stardust completely power creeps so many decks, you know, before the Synchro era. You know, Darkle, Geki, Torrential, Bottomless, Mirror Force, all of those power cards. Stardust just says no against that, and here, nope, not looking too good. Cat again, you know, 2 very quick duels, game 2, game 4, so again another 5-gamer, but that's nice, right? This opening hand is kinda okay-ish, unless my opponent goes super ham with well, I don't know, maybe Brionek and stuff like that. But I opt to play it somewhat aggressively, try to, you know, attack with Mystic Tomato, potentially hoping that it's indeed a Raikou, or maybe a Sangan, so Yatta could potentially deal damage. Worst case, it's like a Spy, but I think that's fine, simply because, you know, Yatta will be bounced back and Tomato will still stay face up on the field in order to potentially be destroyed by battle. And I have Crush card set, so again, if my opponent plays it super aggressively here, then I might lose the duel simply because the... well, depends, right? Simply because Crush card is not live now. Oh no, Arcanite Magician wasn't released, I think. Otherwise it would have been there. So Urbellum is there, but I believe Urbellum only sends a card back when my opponent, or at least when the opponent has like 4 in hand, right? 4 or more. So I search Magical Scientist, and here this is where the turns are going to get, you know, switched or whatever. Magical Scientist is getting Crush card, that's again giving me free, and that's the most important thing, free information about my opponent's hand. And was it this duel that my opponent tried to Monster Reborn my Demok? Order says no. Order is such a broken card, even, this was pre-errata, but even post-errata. And again, Demok, like, what are the options here? Okay, I guess Mistworm. Like, Demok is getting banished as soon as it, you know, leaves the field. Magician of Fate is not going to get flipped face up, but whatever, right? We have that also broken Snatch Steal again. Or, first of all, Painful Choice. So again, give my opponent the Painful Choice, literally. But again, use Snatch Steal and probably set Magician of Fate Order again. Yeah, Instant still live, and Ring of Destruction just in case. Problem though, is there a problem? Might there be? I'm not so sure. Like here, in this situation, again, go for a potential big push, run into Bottomless, that's fine. I can't flip Magician of Fate simply because I don't have any, you know, protection, Wabuku or something like that. I think so. Order is one of them, but I'm not so sure about the other one, the other set. It's only Order and something else. It's fine, but I run into Gore, so I'm like, whew. From all the cards, really, Gorse? So here I think I'm forced to flip over Magician of Fate, use Geki, and kinda hope for the best, but oh, I have a ring, so I could potentially ring my own Magician, and then my opponent is not able to potentially attack over the low attack monster on my side of the field. Okay, but here, I guess, in the long run, in hindsight, I probably should have used, I was about to say, like, use Metamorphosis on Magician of Fate, but I'm not so sure, simply because again I have multiple defense cards, and here in this situation, if my opponent has a big beat stick and, you know, potential comeback play ready that there was in the previous turn, I can still go for 1000 Times Restrict, you know, attach the strongest monster and still attack. As you know, 1000 Times Restrict is the only monster that can attack. So again, can get back Cine. Use Typhoon just in case. I'm not so sure if there's any potential, you know, battle trap here from the opponent. Deal damage, and this is finally more than enough to attack for game. So a super long duel, going back and forth, you know, close victories, but I think we have a well-deserved winner. But again, super close, even though there's like 5 years a difference between both these decks. Okay, next matchup. Next matchup is a goodie as well. We have a returner in the Cross-Banlist Cup series, 3-axis Fire Fist, again good old school Fire Fist with all the cards being at 3 from the broken deck back then, with Blaster as well. And it's going to take on 6 Samurai, old school Samurai, first place YCS winner, featuring Triple Gateway, Triple United, and so on. So it's kind of a disgusting list as well. So again, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like. If you enjoyed the video, leave me signing out. Peace.